wise through it all. We are here to learn how to balance law and realize ourselves through what is thrown at us. My friends, I just want to come to you a little bit about attitude. And there seems to be some huge narratives out here like, oh, you create your reality, or oh, reality is reflecting all this to you, like, and whatnot. And learning how to like observe our reality is really important. But my friends, it just comes down to the fact that there are crazy shit that happens seemingly for no reason when you're in the midst of it, right? Your girlfriend just is like getting up to leave, or you get laid off from your job, or there's this massive upheaval occurs in your life, right? Usually these things are written into our path, A, for a soul initiation, or B, because we've been living outside of law, inside of ourselves. We've been living out of alignment with truth for so long, and we've missed all the wake-up calls until massive fucking cataclysms hit, right? And the thing is, my friends, is we can co-create our reality in this experience to a degree, right? But we can't control circumstance. What happens tomorrow, right? Like who gets hit by a bus that some crazy loss in the financial market. Like whatever it is, my friends, reality is here to test you. It is not like your magical plaything to become, the spiritual pony and like create rainbows everywhere you go. My friends, welcome to Earth. Earth is a testing ground to, I guess, aid souls in the awakening to and like actualization of themselves, right? To grow from an infant into the spirit, right? And therefore, my friends, growth is through obstacles and resistance, and the obstacle is the way, okay? Here's the thing. A lot of the spiritual narratives out here shatter when faced with like raw, real life scenarios. If you're going through like a change or a really difficult time, for instance, right? Let's say like two individuals both just got laid off from a job, right? Or actually they lost their entire life savings, let's say. When both those individuals receive it, one person, right, starts like fretting and fearing like, oh fuck, like my future, all this work, right? He starts blaming, he gets pissed, he starts self-pitying himself, right? The other individual like takes it, sits with that feeling, like that loss inside of himself, maybe for a night or a day. But when it's time to step out of like the self-pitying and despair or whatever it is, the feelings, he takes it as, okay, awesome, I'm going to do it again, but better, faster. I'm going to build a more aligned financial abundance for myself. Like, he sees it as a new test, like a new calling. And he realizes that this came into his life to reveal something for him, to call for a change. And he rises to the change. He rises to the challenge. My friends, have an attitude of one who is fearless. Accept your fears. Be with your fears. But my friends, think strongly and think fearlessly. We have to remember that this life, this journey that we're on is sacred. It's sacred. My friends, you're going to have so many different phases. You're going to have so many periods of joy and other periods of deep despair. The dissolving and the integration just goes deeper and deeper and deeper. It doesn't end. There's always an ebb and flow going on out here, my friends. And oftentimes I see people get caught in like a fear-based consciousness where they're very like attached. If you find yourself like really attached to something, some person, some idea, right? Or like, really disconnected, at war with your own nature, maybe like in a really dark, painful time of loss and change, Saturn's returning into your life. My friends, when Saturn returns, when pain happens, when mad situations come into our reality, Saturn is reminding us the way to transmute it is to rise to the call of your highest destiny, is to remember the path, the sacred story of your journey, your hero's journey, the story of a master you once wrote. My friends, what is that story? You are living a saga. Live your saga well, my friends, right? And like, yeah, it's crazy. You're in the midst of it. You're in the midst of, some kind of like, moving or humiliation or disillusionment or breakup or loss of job or whatever it is, my friends. Sit with that, but then realize like, holy shit, fuck yeah. My friends, after collapse, the other side is so much more beautiful. And here's the thing at the base of it all. You are the supreme being, and you have not an inkling, not even an idea of what this experience, what this reality holds. Like, we've never felt what it feels like to just like feel good, to feel alive. We have no idea what our natural state could feel like, our natural experience could be like, right? Just because of, the poisoning and the toxins and the bullshit food, the bullshit philosophies, environment, socialization, like lack of connection in so many ways. Like, but we have no idea what it feels like to even like, just like eat pretty good and sleep pretty good and be in nature. Like, we have no idea what this reality can hold for us. We have no idea like what your power is. If you find yourself forcing things, right? Really like worn out and all these things, it's time to realize that your nature, your calling, your destiny, if we can rise to the call of it, is beautiful. It's harmonious, right? It's fulfilling, it's challenging, and it's so connected. My friends, realize that you are living the story of a master, and it's a grand saga. Look at the situations, the circumstances coming up into your life. What is being called of you, right? The thing is we rarely answer the call. There's always a call coming out to us, right? But we rarely answer that call because we're so scared to step, to look at what that means, what we have to let go of, right? It's the ability to realize and remember that this is a sacred life we're living. That you have a high calling, a high potential to actualize, to realize. And like, when you think about that, my friends, you start to kindle a why, which knows no fear. You start to kindle the why of the supreme being, the sacred warrior within you, the warrior for the sacred, the warrior for yourself, right? And when that happens, my friends, if you're trying to make a big change in your life and you're looking at, oh my God, I have all these fears about what I'm losing and like, all these doubts about, is it possible? And like all these attachments that are so painful. And the moment, my friends, like if you love something, you need to let go of that thing because it's hurting you. When you start thinking about that thing, the devil instantly enters your mind. Starts casting doubt, casting fear, casting guilt, casting all the ways that this is going to be painful without, casting all the things that you'll never have again. The thing is, my friends, is you're walking on crutches, and this idea is about leaving the crutches behind and realizing, holy fuck, I can run. But like, we're so attached to our crutches, in the moment that we think about leaving them behind, we think about, when I go up the stairs, I kind of like it right then. Or, this, like, I'm losing all these different things. My friends, think about the why. Think about the call to the highest. Think about your destiny. Believe in yourself. Believe and aspire, right? Right now in my life, I have a lot of things kind of holding me, or a lot of fears that want to keep me in this location and attached to these things and people, right? Whether it's work and my relationship or my community or, just like comfort. And I've been called to go do a solo, like, self-initiation in the desert for a long, long time, It's kind of coming to me like, wow, a lot of shit's like calling for change right now in my life, And like, what's the greatest day you could live tomorrow, right? If something like, if crazy shit's collapsing in your life, my friends, forget about your attachments, your fears, your doubts, your shame. What is the greatest up-levelment being called for that you can act on tomorrow? What is the greatest day you could live, right? Have the attitude that everything in this life is happening to me in divine alignment to aid and support in the realization of a higher me, of a higher ideal, of a higher reality, of a higher experience, right? Of deeper poles of authenticity, of fulfillment, of deeper truth and happiness. Everything happening and occurring in my life is in alignment with that ideal if I can just show up to it and move with the best of my ability through it. Thing is, when we get in the grips of a hard time, like, it's hard to remember that shit, you know? But it's like, can you just consistently, right, adapt and just build up more integrity with each situation that arises? And when you're thinking in a very like hurt, self-pitying, you know, self-indulgent, like fearful way, you're in that state of consciousness, and that bears no fruits whatsoever. It is leaking energy. My friends, create the state of consciousness that I am unstoppable, that I am here as a warrior of the sacred, you know, walking my path to the solar glory. Like that, you are, my friends, you are here to realize a grand story, a grand saga. Have the attitude that you are the warrior, the hero, you know, the warrior, king, queen, high priestess, magician of it all. It's all centered on you, baby. And like, realize that, holy shit, think about your state of consciousness a year ago. You would have laughed at 100 things you did, right? Like all these things you're worried about and so attached to and clutching so hard, right? And like, now look at where you are, okay? Well, that's gonna happen over and over and over and over and over and over. The videos I made a year ago, they make me cringe and smile nowadays. 2 years ago, holy shit, that was me. You know, think about yourself. 3 months from now, your reality is completely different, okay? What attitude are you attaining to right now that's gonna lead you? It's gonna lead you into a greater alignment where each day should be fulfilling. Each day should feel successful. What calling can we rise to make those changes now? Start thinking in the longer term, my friends. Start thinking in the call of destiny, the call of your highest calling, right? Stop thinking about this immediate place, this immediate phase, this immediate reality, and start realizing that the seeds we sow now through thought, faith, and imagination, right? Or thought, faith, and aspiration, and the seeds we sow with our attitude is everything. You are sowing the seeds in the Garden of Eden, the garden of your mind, right? And belief that is one day to be actualized and manifested. So good seed, my friends. And when it comes to attitude and situation, let's dive in here real quick. Attitude gives the alchemist the ability and the basis of how he responds to stimuli in his reality. You cannot control what comes up. If you have an attitude of openness, of enthusiasm, like I had an attitude, I'm building this attitude, I'm calling it the attitude of the archetypes, probably the most powerful states of consciousness you can attain to. The framework is basically an attitude. That's what it is. It's like, it's literally this frequency where all your being resonates on, okay? And that's your attitude. And it's success consciousness. The consciousness is, I am unfuckwithable. I am unstoppable. I've been cultivating the warrior, you know, as I'm called to really get grounded in a lot of ways, really let go of a lot of things, and put my feet back on the earth, start walking with might down here, right? And the call of the warrior, the attitude of the warrior, think about like a warrior god in your mind, right? And the thing is, my friends, if you want to become anything, Just know what you want to become and live into it now. Now, right? Take a shower like a warrior. Wake up like a warrior. Go to the gym like a warrior, especially like actions like that. Single actions where you can aspire to that archetype, right? The attitude of the warrior is like, pleasure consciousness, it isn't even on his mind. He's so focused on his duty, on execution, right? Like in my mind, it's like a warrior for myself, a warrior for the sacred, right? And it's like, oh, being a warrior for myself, like, what does that look like? It looks like the most loving, powerful, and strong way, like executing on ways to take care of me and serve me, on what's going to serve my highest purpose. Like, what is the greatest day possible my warrior could have tomorrow? Probably looks like climbing some damn mountains in the silence. You know what I mean? It's like, my friends, attain to an attitude that's unfuckwithable. And also, my friends, like, your attitude is your base, right? It's basically gonna be creating all the opportunities and your ability to respond to stimuli in your life, okay? And now attitude combined with wisdom and insight is so powerful. Because when crazy shit comes up in your reality, you know, and you get caught in these different vibrations and frequencies, it's time to realize the why again. It's time to realize the vision again, what's going on here, right? And look at that in a fearless way. Embrace the fear. I mean a lovingly fearless way, like a courageous way. Knowing the fear, feeling the fear, but understanding and having such faith that I need not fear anything. That if I walk and align with my truth, my reality will only grow into greater beauty, into greater alignment. My truth will ever shine brighter inside of me and greater. My friends, don't be scared of the next calling, because it's always so fucking scary. It's always so scary. And this is where the growth happens, my friends. Are you willing to face the fear, right? Realize the attitude that's going to bring you to the highest, you know, the highest amplitude to hurdle that barrier, right? Realize the attitude, the perspective, and the loving fearlessness, the strength required to move through it. My friends, attitude is so important, and it's the one thing you have control over, and it creates your response out here to the co-creative universe. Look at each obstacle in your life as the obstacle that is asking of you to step up, to let go of something, and to remember deeper. Hell yeah, my friends. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I do really powerful, like, one-on-one sessions, coaching, consultations. And really, my friends, when it comes to philosophy, I could say so much, you know? It's like, where do we start? Do we need to start with, like, the feminine and masculine dance? Do we need to start with, you know, vision and your what and your why? Or do we need to start with the knowledge of self? And it's so unique to you. Everywhere on this path, I'm realizing, my friends, like the medicine, the philosophy, the insights that are going to lead to the most rapid transformation are so unique to the individual, right? We all have different strengths and weaknesses. And honestly, that's why I think working with someone like myself one-on-one, having that soundboard, that reflection, who's deeply engaged with you, is super powerful for people. Hell yeah, my friends. I would love to work with you. And if that feels aligned, shoot me an email or link in the description to apply for a free one-on-one with me. Also, my friends, Instagram stories, you can always, or just DM me on Instagram if you want to get in touch. I really appreciate you watching this video. Hit that like button and share this with a friend or on one of your social feeds. That really helps me out. Easy way to give back. There's a law of equal exchange out here, my friends. Just continue to give it forth. And if you want to support my work further, you can check out my Patreon. I got a bunch of it's an exclusive archive of videos for all of my, you know, noble supporters out there. Love all you guys. And yeah, so go check that out. I really appreciate your support there. If you tip your waiter, you might as well tip your YouTuber. This is Reality Files, my friends. I'm talking philosophy, real and raw talk with your boy. Peace.